Hello, welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So when they announced that Disney bought parts of Fox, obviously the geek brains like myself went a bit crazy of the idea of X-Men and of course Fantastic Four being part of the MCU. So today I'm going to talk about basically my picks of who should be cast in the X-Men MCU, because there's no point denying it. Disney loves that money and they're clearly going to do that. They're clearly going to get X-Men going. So yeah, this is going to be... I'm going to talk about quickly actually just what I want to see in the first X-Men movie, and then I'm going to talk about who I like to see in that movie. But I'm actually also going to just cast basically most to nearly all the kind of the big names of the X-Men in terms of the heroes and the villains of the rest of the kind of the movies. So yeah, let's just first of all talk about the first movie, or what I want to see. I basically want to see the first class of the X-Men, of that includes obviously Cyclops, Jean, Iceman, Angel and Beast. I just want it to be that 5. I don't want Wolverine just yet. I'm going to talk about him soon, but I don't want him in the first movie at all. Just focus on this 5. Obviously I have Professor X there as well. And the villain, I don't want it to be Magneto. I think we've had quite a lot of Magneto. I think Magneto should be in the movie, but not necessarily the main villain. I think it should be like the... I like it to see it be the Morlocks, and this is going to be a huge part of why we've not seen mutants, because it's going to be this whole idea that most of the mutants are underground. They're very much scared of to come out, and I want it to be the main villain to be Mr. Sinister and Callisto as well, like those kind of two sided villains, I guess, for the first movie. And in that kind of group of the Morlocks, you might see like Toad and like villains like that. You kind of see like in that kind of mix. But yeah, that's what I'd kind of like to see. And so yeah, actually talking about who I'd like to see cast in it. So obviously first of all we'll talk about the big one, obviously, of Professor X, who I'd like to see played by as Ralph Fiennes. I think he'd do a great job. I think he quite looks like actually Professor X. I think he'd also be the perfect age to have Ralph Fiennes play Professor X for some time, really. And go on to Magneto, I think you need to have a pairing of Professor X and Magneto together, and I think have Christoph Waltz as Magneto would really have a good connection of that with Ralph Fiennes of Professor X and Magneto. I think they two are probably about right. It's one of the greatest relationships in all of Marvel, really. Is them two together. So yeah, talking about the actual X-Men now. For Cyclops, for me, I'd like to see Jake Gyllenhaal play Cyclops. I've always quite liked Cyclops. A lot of people don't like Cyclops. I can understand why you don't like Cyclops. But for me, I think I'd like to see Cyclops really be played by a really strong actor that would really kind of get that whole leader but not complete twat, because sadly Cyclops is kind of presented as being a complete idiot, to be honest, a complete twat, really. And I kind of really don't want to see that for me. And for my Jean Grey, I'd like to see Jessica Chastain. Now, the thing about obviously Jessica Chastain is that she's going to be in the new X-Men movie. But, you know, let's be honest, probably none of this that I've got here on my list that's going to happen is probably not going to happen. So it's purely just fantasy right now. But I've always really liked Jessica Chastain. I think she would really be great as Jean Grey, really. I've always felt that for quite some time, actually. So I would really like to see that. And for my Beast, I have Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I've always liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he would do a really good job with Beast, of really showing the kind of the very much the soft human side of the Beast, I guess. And I've always quite liked the concepts of Beast, and I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt would do quite a good job with that one. For my Iceman, I've got Logan Lerman for that one, and someone who was meant to audition, I think, apparently for Spider-Man, but I think he would do a good job for Iceman here. I think in this film, Iceman would be the youngest one out of the original 5, obviously, which I think is basically also in the comics as well. So I would kind of keep that kind of idea for that one. And my Angel would be Darcy Montague. Probably mudded that last name there, but I really liked him in Power Rangers. Not gonna lie, I think he did a good job, and I think he kind of has everything what you kind of basically need for Angel. He's basically a good-looking man, and he kind of really is Angel. That was always kind of the design of him, really, and I think he would do a good job. And so yeah, that's my kind of like the original 5 that I would have as the main kind of folk, I guess you could say, obviously, for the film. And through the course of the film, I like to see Maury McTaggart be in the movie. Obviously, I have connections with Professor X. I like to see her as a supporting character, played by Morgan Christie, who is a Scottish actress, and basically looks like almost the double of, actually, Maury McTaggart. She's really been in a lot of kind of stuff lately, and I think she's been doing a really great job, and I really quite like her. I think she would really just absolutely nail Maury McTaggart for me. Some of the villains that I've got for, I guess you could say, the first movie, obviously, Mr. Sinister, that it says I think Jason Isaacs would do a really good job, Mr. Sinister. What another character another villain, I guess you could say, obviously, I would have is Mystique. She would maybe be part of the Morlock. She would be kind of in and out, kind of, you'd see her. But for me, I would have her played by Natalie Dormer. I think Natalie Dormer would do a fantastic job as Mystique. I don't like what Jennifer Lawrence has done with Mystique. I just don't like what they've went with that role whatsoever. She seems to look more like kicking about as Jennifer Lawrence than actually looking like Mystique. For me, I just don't really like that. Yeah, I think Natalie Dormer, I really like Natalie Dormer, and I think she would do a really good job. I mean, yeah, she has appeared before in a Marvel movie, but I don't think it really matters. It's only literally a small role, so yeah, I think she would do a really good job there. For the Callisto that I would have is like basically the main villain, I would say, for my first movie. I would have as Emily Blunt. I would have playing that role. I think Emily Blunt has everything you need to have for a villain of that caliber, because Callisto is very damaged of a character, and I think Emily Blunt would really quite just excel in that kind of role. I think she really would do really good, quite justice with that kind of character. And I've got some other kind of like that I don't particularly want in the first movie, I guess, but be kind of sprinkled in the next kind of coming films I thought I would kind of talk about now. For my Pyro, I would have Tom Felton. I think he would do quite a good job there. And I guess in the first one, actually, I would maybe have Toad in it, as I said, being played by Paul Dano, who I kind of feel sorry for, because I always feel like Paul Dano always plays creepy, weird characters. So might as well tick this box as well for Toad. And also other stuff like Havoc as well, if they ever brought Havoc into. I think Arnie Hammer would do a good job with Havoc. I think obviously I would like to see more connections with Havoc and Cyclops, doing that kind of whole brother relationship thing. I think you could do some stuff like that more down the line. I think that could be really interesting. And for my Juggernaut that I have, I quite like this idea actually, because I've always kind of felt you're never going to get a guy that looks like the size of Juggernaut, really. So I thought, why could you get the closest to it? Then I thought, oh yeah, the guy from Game of Thrones, which I'm going to murder his name, but Halford Julius Borgia Nasson, okay, or The Mountain, or Thor as well. I think he's got quite a couple of different names, I guess, but yes, I think this guy would be just absolutely perfect in this role. I mean, he's literally near enough the size of the Juggernaut, really, so I think, yeah, I think he would be quite perfect for that role. And my Sabretooth that I have would be David Harbour. Now, obviously, he is playing Hellboy, so I don't know how that would actually really maybe work. I don't know if there is a problem with that one. But yeah, I think he would do a really quite a good job with Sabretooth. I think he's got that kind of twang, I guess, if you want to call it, for Sabretooth. And for the rest of my kind of stuff, I want to talk about the kind of heroes. So a couple of them are going to appear that I would like to see in obviously the first movie. I think for one of the post-credit scenes would be seeing Storm in Wakanda. I think played by Naomi Harris, I'd like to see. I think we're going to see some connections with her and Black Panther. I think you could see they're kind of talking about the X-Men and what, you know, the ideas maybe that she should go see them and Professor X. And then the other kind of post-credit scene, obviously, I think should be Wolverine. Seeing him in the full-on yellow costume in Canada, working for Alpha Flight as well. So far, I think Scott Eastwood would do quite a good job as Wolverine, but my other side is, I think they should go for a complete unknown with Wolverine, actually. I think that would probably be the best, because it's going to be hard to try and replace Hugh Jackman, but I think if you go for a complete unknown, then we've got no concept of what, you know, we kind of like have on the act, and I think that'd be better. And some of my other kind of choices I have, I'll just kind of quickly go through right now that I'd like to see in the future. Rogue is Alexandra Denario. I think she'll do a good job with Rogue. Jubilee is Katie Lang. I think, again, I think she'll do a good job there. Nightcrawler, I'd like to see Elijah Wood. who I think just looks actually almost exactly like he'd just be perfect in that makeup. Elijah Wood as Nightcrawler. I think he would do a good job of that one there. Emma Frost I like to see as Charlize Theron. I think she, again, but she would be more, definitely a bigger role with that one. I think Charlize Theron really does nail Emma Frost. Gambit I would like to see played by Channing Tatum. I think, again, I know he's with Fox right now, but I think actually he would do a good job as Gambit. I can't see this film happening with Fox, this whole Gambit movie, so I think, yeah, might as well kind of go for it and do it with Marvel, and hopefully they might kind of keep it. And last of all is Cable, played by Stephen Lang. I think Stephen Lang should have played Gambit, if I'm honest, in the Deadpool. Don't get me wrong, Josh Brolin will probably do a great job. You know, he's a great actor, but I just think Stephen Lang just looks dead on as Cable. For me, I've always kind of felt like that, but you know, who knows with that one. But yes, that's my kind of list of who I'd like to see in the X-Men MCU movie, and also I talked a little bit obviously in the kind of the future X-Men movies. So yeah, I'd like to know what you guys think. Did you like this list? Did you hate this list of the people I'd like to see? But and most importantly, what would you like to see in the X-Men MCU movie? Comment down below, tell me what you think. More videos in the future. So until then, see you later.